So the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the Future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor Podcast.
Welcome to Future Bachelor. My name is Cy.
I'm Veronica, and that little ditty just really did a number on me, and I know where it's coming from for both of us.
Oh.
And also
I'm fine. What are you talking about?
Okay. And then, but I know you purposely were saying you wanted a slower song because we got some feedback.
Yeah.
Episode 100.
And on episode 100, John was like, it's just sometimes it can be a little hype in the morning when he's trying to listen at 6:30.
That's the way I like to be in the morning.
Yeah, you're a morning person. But I figure, maybe we start off 101 with a little vibe. It's been kind of like a lot getting through the episode 100.
Overwhelmed.
But you guys have definitely reached episode 101. Yeah.
Like the Dalmatians.
Dalmatian bitches.
Who let the dogs out?
Huda.
Yeah, we got a couple new sound effects for the new 100. So we're just gonna keep it moving. Like nothing, has really changed here. It's a new
day.
Yeah,
it's a new life.
Some things might change, but 101 we keep it moving. 100 was a really fun time. Like,
it was so fun.
Just thinking about how awesome. We
Everyone
reminisced enough on that episode. But
yeah, we're not gonna reminisce anymore. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, but I did have a good time. I just
Me
want to
too.
say that. Thanks to everybody that did that. So shout out to all them. And but how have you been, V? What's been going on?
So we haven't actually. This is probably like one of the first times we've seen each other in like a week.
Yeah,
which is weird. That's like a lot for that's a long time.
I needed some time to myself. Nothing to do with you. Just
Sure.
Just kind of needed to do my thing for a second.
Sure.
No,
I'll be honest. So for our live watchers, or as Cy likes to say, the watchies, I don't like that.
You love it.
I don't.
Go on.
I've gotten feedback from other people that we need to think of a better name.
Watchies is so cool.
Okay. But they were, they've missed us these past couple of weeks. But like shit, we have lives. Shit happens. We can't always set up for the live watch if you're a live watchie and you listen to this. Which I don't know how much of those audiences overlap, but hopefully enough.
They're different. It's just a lot. Like, my biggest dedication is this podcast, and it's
Same.
like, just
And
if
mine
I'm
is
going to be able to have the
on
energy.
Monday nights as well.
Right. I mean, I'm going to have to watch anyways, but sometimes I come home and like lately I've been watching on Tuesday night because it's just like I don't even want to deal with the commercials and all that time.
Yeah.
So
I'll be like making when he's canceled on me for the past couple of weeks to do the live watch. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna make dinner. I'm gonna pour my wine.
And the tipsy talks have been really good. So
I'm great at them.
Well, I can't wait to talk a little Bachelor with you later. But yeah, you had your parents in town this weekend.
Yes.
I'm really sorry. I didn't get to meet them.
It's okay. I mean, eventually.
I would definitely do. I've been really wanting to meet Claudia. It's just I don't know what happened this weekend.
This weekend was
got away from me.
It got away from both of us, I'm sure. But they were in town. I mean, they've been to Atlanta before, so it's not like we really had to do anything. And also, like, they're from Chicago, so it's not like they're like, we need to go to, like, the aquarium and, like, whatever. They're like, yeah, we got one of those. We know how it goes. We've been to it before.
They just want to be around you?
Yeah, and plus, like, they love the part of town I live in because, like, we live, like, in a similar part of town of Atlanta. Cool parts. Like, can walk to a lot of cool places. So they stayed at Hotel Claremont.
Nice. Did they really?
Mm-hmm.
How was it? Did you get to see the room?
Yeah, it was super cute. Super cute in there.
Is it, like... Does it look old or is it modern?
It's kind of like this like retro, like it's like retro modern, I would say. Like they definitely give
But it's clean.
Very clean. They give it like a 70s feel, but like but modern.
That's kind of cool.
Super
you
cool.
take any pictures?
I didn't take pictures of
That's crazy.
Room, but I took pictures of them up on the roof. We went to the rooftop bar. They're very cute. My parents.
I saw that. Nice.
My cutie parents. And my dad like just really fully leaned into his midlife crisis, which I was here for because he got a rental car. He got a Mustang as his rental car, and it was like nice as fuck.
Wow.
So that was fun, but like we just hung out, walked the Beltline to different stuff, had a nice dinner at Tiny Lou's, which is the nice restaurant in Claremont, and we almost all went down to the Claremont Lounge together, which would have been a time.
It would have been.
My mom was like, I kind of want to see what it's all about. Like, and my dad and my mom was like, did you guys go? Because my dad was in town last
Claremont
year.
Lounge is a novelty strip club.
It's
here.
a novelty strip club known for blondie and like older women being the strippers.
Yeah.
And so my mom had asked if like we had went when my dad was in town last year for my birthday, and like he came and we did dinner at Tiny Lou's. And my dad's like, yeah, I feel like it would have been weird if it was just me and my daughter going to Claremont Lounge. I'm like, yeah, probably.
I don't even like strip clubs, so
I like real strip clubs. I actually, this past weekend, I ended up at a different strip club.
Really?
Indeed. So my friend Knip, shout out to Knip. He is moving back to Atlanta. So he
Oh, nice. Okay,
yes.
Cool.
So he was in town this past weekend as well, looking at places, figuring that out, whatever. And one night, the night took a turn. Let's just say there was a lot of drama with one of our friends and like her boyfriend, and things were happening, and we kind of escaped that situation. We had like several beers in us, and we escaped that situation
to a strip club
and went to Swinging Richards.
Okay, so what was swinging in there?
Richards.
Okay.
So Swinging Richards is the male strip club that is well known in Atlanta, and yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, I can imagine.
To say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to a male strip club before, but I mean I could just imagine.
Honestly, there wasn't that many women in there. The clientele's mostly gay men.
Oh, okay.
So, it was interesting.
So it's like men just really like strip clubs. It doesn't matter. It's funny.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, yeah, I guess so.
I had a joke I was like writing at one point though, like it was like how to like what are the roads that you take to become like a male stripper, and also like like
they all go by names. They all go like one of them, his name, he went by like Bama, and he was an annoying little fuck, that's for sure. He like was all up in our faces, all up in my face. He like grabbed my ass at one point. I was like, no, doggy, this is not how this is gonna work.
Well, okay, that's what's up. Well, I'm glad you had a good time with your folks, and I ended up on Friday night just like hanging out with Paul and a bunch of my friends. It was cool. It was just to hang over at Paul's. It was like late night, and that was nice because
he's like the late night hang place.
Yeah, it's right on the Beltline. It's just nice to be able to go and go to some place that's like not a bar, and we could still drink there and stuff, but it's just like nice, and we listen to our own music and stuff. So invite everybody over. It's like a little party. And we did that, and then Saturday I actually woke up and was productive and did some music. I busted out the old looper, and I did a cover of Drake's The Motion, which was like pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Because it's a lot to do the looping thing, and
I always find that super impressive when you do that. I feel like that's definitely like a talent to understand like how that works. Like I feel like people could like maybe, I don't know, like not shit on it, but people would be like, oh, like what are you even doing? I'm like, it's a lot of like work to like actually like get it to all line up.
Well, thank you for appreciating it, because like it does, like it's like how many times like you have to do a loop to practice, and then how many times like to even get it perfect, like, and then that's just like to even do it once perfectly just for yourself,
it's like,
and then to
it's
film
like a
it.
Rube Goldberg.
Yeah, and so like I got lucky and got a good take. Like it's not perfect, but it's like a great take, and I was just like, oh, this is awesome to get. So that was really fun. Check it out. It's on YouTube. It's called The Motion by me. It's a Drake cover. And then Saturday it was like the pre Mardi Gras celebrations, and my friends Adam and Alex Parker, I'm gonna give them an early shout out. They had a dope ass party that Chef John did like a boil at and stuff, and they actually ordered like authentic like New Orleans food
Love
from
it.
Well, actually a food truck that I've interviewed. That's they were
really?
like, they saw my episode.
That's
they're like,
so funny.
Food Truck Diaries.
Food Truck Hey guys.
Shut up. So yeah, that was my weekend, and it was really fun. So I mean, anything else happen? I know a lot more stuff probably happened, but we're not going to talk about it right now. Anyways,
okay.
I would take a plane.
What the hell?
Quick hits. What do we got for quick hits, V?
All right, that was
Dude, I've been trying to do like awkward things and getting out of it with the quick hits, like
Oh wow!
But it's
Peek
not
behind the
necessarily
curtain.
Shut up.
All right, so this has been something that's been all over the internet as of late. So TikTok, which I still, barely understand, it's known for a lot of like the different TikTok challenges and dances. And one of the big popular ones right now is called Renegade. And girls who have like kind of popularized it are these two TikTok influencers, these two white girls who are probably like 20 years old max. I don't even think they're that old. Charlie D'Amelio and Addison Easterling. And they have been asked, like they had been at NBA games, like kind of like performing, during timeouts, during whatever, or like getting, performing with like NBA dance girls and whatever.
Some people are in better situations. They learn to dance really easy that they saw on TikTok thinking it's innocent. And they're just kind of running with it. It's like all these other popular dances, but they're getting the credit for like.
So yeah, they've been getting the credit, and they've been like being prominent and like getting paid for appearances and things like that. And like these dances, where Renegade is specifically was created by a 14-year-old black girl, Jalea, I believe her name is, who actually I think she's from Atlanta or Atlanta area, and so there was a big hubbub on Twitter, especially Black Twitter definitely went off because there's that dance, and then there's the Out West challenge that also was created by a black girl who also like white popular TikTok influencers performed at NBA games. So there's a whole big like hubbub on Black Twitter about like the whole idea of them gentrifying the dance and like making it popular and whitewashing
it's like Bring It On.
Yeah, it is like it's literally like Bring It On. And so the NBA,
one of my favorite movies growing up.
I love Bring It On. And then the NBA kind of took notice of all this and had Jalea come and during the
everybody had Jalea come and do that dance.
Yeah,
I saw her on like literally like 3 channels at once. I don't know how
like the All-Star
possible.
game like had her come and do it. So it's an interesting landscape.
I think the internet needs to not be so touchy, or everybody not to be so touchy. Like, find the person who created something. Definitely give credit to where it's due and stuff. But like, I don't know. Like nowadays, like it's just like you see something, someone's gonna make 10 different people are gonna make the same video trying to become like famous. Like I saw that old man that was eating the spaghetti with the scissors, and then like Barstool's like posted another one with some like stupid white boy doing it, and like all the comments are like, this is stupid, like but it's like, all right, yeah, it's stupid, but like still it's getting the same point across of like cutting the spaghetti with the scissors and stuff. Have you seen it?
No.
Really? It's just like some person like scooping up the spaghetti, cutting off like, like right when it starts getting like complicated. And it's just like, it's actually a practical way to eat spaghetti. They just eat it like assholes. Like they eat it so fast. They're like, it's just like a thing. But I'm just saying, people copying each other on the internet now. It's just like,
I know, but like I think it's not even just like copying each other. It's just the idea of like they took her dance, kind of changed it to make it whiter, and then also just like the fact that they are benefiting off of it when like it was I think it just becomes like a race issue, because like this is obviously something that's been happening forever. Like even think about like if we want to go all the way back, like Elvis Presley became famous for doing what black musicians had been doing for years but couldn't be popularized because they're black. So it's just interesting to see like the parallels in that in today's world in TikTok. It's like Elvis Presley on the TV versus TikTok. So.
Well, what else we got?
So I'm like switching between all these different tabs. Bachelor spinoffs are going crazy.
Jeez.
So I don't know. So like they're gonna have the lineup. So like currently we're in Bachelor.
We're gonna have Bachelor content all the way until like September or August.
September, yeah. So we're in Bachelor right now, which will be over in a couple of weeks. After that, it'll be Listen to Your Heart, which is a music-based show. So everyone's trying to get into the music show game.
How have all these shows come out and I haven't even like heard about like an audition or anything like that? It's like, what the hell? Whatever. I'll just keep talking about you fucks. But yeah. Anyways, what do we got? Listen to Your Heart.
Listen to Your Heart is like where they're all single musicians who, get paired up to do different song challenges, and maybe they find love and a musical connection, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really understand exactly.
No, they saw what happened with all these. Like they saw enough people probably come on. They're like, I'm a musician.
Well, yeah, because they're all trying to promote their music. And they're like, might as well just do it like.
No, if they're
cut
smart,
out the middleman.
No, if they're smart, they just came up with like the newest singing competition that is going to beat The Voice and American Idol and all this shit. Like, I mean, and it's ABC, so like, don't they already have like American Idol and shit. But
Isn't American Idol on ABC now?
Yeah. So that's weird. But I mean, what if they discover like the next pop artist, like Carrie Underwood or like, whatever. So, it's smart to do that.
It is, but it's an interest. I like don't.
At least they're not just making stupid influencers, and now they're at least making musicians that might go popular.
And then after that, so it'll be Listen to Your Heart, and then it'll be Bachelorette season. And then after Bachelorette season, it will be Summer Games, which will be similar to when they did the Winter Games. And that's all because definitely they're trying to be a competitor to
the Olympics.
Yeah,
it's a smart thing to do.
It's like, okay, the Olympics are going to be on, and that's going to get, I think Fox usually is the one for the Olympics.
So it's NBC, I think.
Yeah, it's NBC. I think it switches year to year. But so they're like, okay, how can we get people still tuning into our channel? Bam. They give you Summer Games.
Smart. I'd rather watch that.
And then after Summer Games will be Bachelor in Paradise. So none of them, back when they did Winter Games, it slightly overlapped with, I think, the Bachelorette season or something. But now there's no...
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was like 8 hours of Bachelor a week.
Oh my God. So this is going to be...
Those were in the vault too, right? Did we talk about those?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I think it was during Ari's season.
I think it was. So then not all of them are just going to be back to back. There's going to be no overlap. So then after Bachelor Summer Games, it'll be Bachelor in Paradise. And then I think after that, it might be Golden Years.
And what's Golden Years?
It's for senior citizens, which I swear to God, we joked about that kind of show on...
We did a couple weeks ago, I think.
This here podcast. Without even knowing about it.
What were we talking about, though?
I don't even remember. But, like, we definitely, like, made a joke about it. We're like, oh, yeah, if, like, for old people.
I mean, it's smart. It's just smart, like, to do all this shit. I wonder if they'll, like...
65. I think you have to be 65 years or older. That's, like, what they're...
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
Like, it's, like, actual senior citizens. I know. I was going to make... Before I saw that, I was going to make a joke being like, Sai, maybe you would have a chance on that one. But
Yeah, I mean, I'll go for an 65-year-old woman, but no, I'm just joking. That's like my mom's age. But no, Bachelor is like, I don't know if it's going to like play itself out, or it's actually smarting to get like people to get attracted to the Bachelor brand by branching into music or being old or
old,
Winter Olympics
or like doing sports.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's excessive, honestly.
Get a little burnt out on Bachelor.
I just feel like...
And then you got Future Bachelor you got to listen to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know you're not going to give that up.
Yeah. Can't give up listening.
I'll give up Golden Years before Future.
I can't give up listening to my own podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. At least once. So yeah, well, we'll be talking about a lot of other Bachelor stuff probably, which is good. It's smart that we created a Bachelor podcast actually. I mean, I don't know what we're complaining about.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, when you do Google Bachelor podcast, like our name comes up.
Well, that's what's going to be different about this year podcasting is that like we actually used to get breaks from talking about The Bachelor, and it seems like ABC is not going to allow us to do that this year.
I know.
So it's going to be like a lot of main topics.
There's going to be some... Yeah, there's going to be some...
You know what sucks about being a beanie guy now?
Are you hot?
Yeah, it's very hot. But then I also got this like handkerchief on, so I don't know. It's just a lot of like heat getting trapped in. And then I got this sweater you made me keep on.
You were going to put on another layer over that. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Don't even... You're right. Don't even come at me.
True. All right, what else we got? We got this Friends reboot that everyone knows is coming, but it's official now.
Now it's official. It's coming.
And it's crazy that HBO got it over NBC.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was interested by. I was like,
well, they got the money for it.
Yeah, so HBO Max is getting... Oh, I'm about to sneeze.
Uh-oh, bless you.
Oh, it went away.
Yeah, because it's never wappened on the podcast, I feel like. So why start at 101?
Why start now? Why? Yeah, tell my body that. Jesus. A former NBC favorite is literally what this article says. Yikes.
Well, the thing is HBO has been actually kind of killing it with content lately. Like I've been living in the HBO app lately because they have... I mean, old shows like Silicon Valley that are really good. I mean, they have a bunch of shows like Game of Thrones that I watched on there. Like every show, Barry. There's a bunch of great shows on HBO. But lately, it's been The Outsider and then McMillions and then
McMillions.
You haven't heard of McMillions?
No.
Oh my God! So it's like this 6-part documentary. I think like 3 or 4 episodes are out right now. But it's about like the Monopoly game and how like someone had it rigged for years, and I don't even know if they still do the Monopoly game. I think they discontinued it or something.
Maybe like as of last year. I feel like that was new.
But it's kind of crazy. So it's a good, and like the FBI got involved, and it was a huge racketeering thing. So check it out if you haven't seen it. But speaking of other shows. Since we're talking about shows.
Hold on,
was there anything interesting about the Friends reboot, or is it just
it's
coming?
just happening.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's like only a 1-season thing. I'll be honest, like I've said it before on this show, like unpopular opinion, like I don't think Friends is like that great.
It's pretty funny.
It's funny, but it's like
I mean, it's just one of those shows though now. Like you can't really it was at the time. It was kind of like you can't go back and be like
that's what I guess like that's my thing. I know
it's like I can't go back and watch episodes of Spin City and think it's going to be like the best show ever. But back then it was on TV for seasons.
I know.
Well, actually like 3 seasons, 4. They ended up replacing Michael J. Fox with Charlie Sheen, and that was a bad idea.
You're so ridiculous.
I know, but so yeah, Friends. Anyways, it's kind of funny because I was about to get on a tangent of like I watched this video of like why the Joey's spin-off show of Friends then it wasn't successful. It's like they try to like just move them away.
Yeah, I remember the promos where it was like him like in a car being like Joey's getting and
apparently
moving to LA.
Yeah, and when he goes to LA, like he's like a loser. Like he was like it was a ladies' man in Friends, and then he comes to LA and he's like a sad poor sap or something, and he can't get girls. And then
I think they even did like a crossover where he like hung out with like 2.5 Men for like an episode. I swear to God.
Okay, that's cool. I love crossovers, but shared universes are dope. But and then also they just didn't even mention his friends. Say how you gonna make a spinoff of Friends with one of the funniest dudes change his character and then never see his friends, that his best friends that you just like convinced us for years that they were best, whatever. But sorry about that tangent. Speaking of shows and dating and more bachelor type shows, I told you about The Circle that Netflix dropped, and that wasn't like a dating show, but it was like an experimental social media experiment. Now they did this other one called Love Is Blind that I guess is being filmed here in Atlanta.
Yeah, well it was. I mean, it's
I think they're doing like a reunion show like afterwards, but they drop it week after week. So I think maybe, I don't know, but regardless, have you seen it yet?
No, but
I've seen the first 3 episodes, and the first episode is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen all the stuff on the internet about it, and like I've seen all the memes, and it just like the whole concept, like, so if you don't know, if you live under a rock, the whole concept is that like you don't see you get into these pods and you talk to
it's legit like two apartments, one for the 10 guys, one for 10 girls, 2 hallways that have doors that connect to these pods, and they're soundproofed except for the little tightly thin wall between the 2 pods, which will connect to one guy and one girl. You like somehow set up dates. There's like a little like things that you don't know how like they're setting up dates and stuff with each other, but they're filming these rooms and they just have these conversations and they're falling in love within like 3-4 days
without even seeing each other.
But they all come onto the show like expecting to get married. So
yeah,
that's
like
the goal.
Whole idea is that they're like.
But the fun part is like how like romantic and everything they want to make it, and then they reveal each other to them, which is the craziest thing. And then they have to like party with each other. And now I'm getting to the episode where they I think are at the same resort as the other couples, where you've been like kind of talking to other people and shit too. So you get to see what those people look like, and they'll probably come and interfere. I don't know if it gets that far, but it's crazy.
I don't know, but I have a.
So they get married in like 24 days, 29 days, or something like that.
Yeah, which is nuts. Like I don't love this whole like let's rush to engagement situation, but I have a friend
Mm-hmm.
whose now ex-boyfriend went on that show. Like they started, her and him started dating, and then he was like, oh, I'm going on this like dating show, whatever.
Yeah.
But like I like you, whatever. But he very much so left out the idea that like the show is
supposed to be get married.
Yeah. And then like, that didn't work out for him, and he came back and then dated her for like months.
Whack.
Love
is blind. Yo, but yeah, no, I just think it's interesting because like, I mean, it's an interesting thing because like they remove like the physical and visual things. So all you have to do is get to know each other, and you just kind of like, especially like when you talk to other girls and like other things is that me? That's embarrassing. V, take it away.
Okay.
Like you can just watch Love Is Blind, but regardless, that Kobe Memorial, I've been hearing a lot of things. I didn't personally watch it. Did you see it?
I did. There's a big memorial at Staples Center this past week for Kobe and Gigi, and then obviously they touched on the others' lives who were lost, and it was like 2 hours long. So I mean, we work together at the company, and the part of which is a media company, and the part where I work, where I sit, they always have TVs on, and they have it on CNN. So that it was anything stuff was having it streaming. So like it was just on, so I was just watching, or like, keeping track of it as I was working and stuff. And holy cannoli, it was hard to keep it together when like Vanessa Bryant came up and like did her whole like, because obviously she like talked from the point of being a mom and like talked to like as if she was talking to Gigi, and then talked to the point of being like a wife to Kobe and like a best friend to him. Oh my God, hard. So, but it was a star-studded event. Beyonce opened it, and she sang XO, which was supposedly Kobe's favorite song of hers, and Halo, because I mean, how could you not at a memorial service? Alicia Keys did the Sonata. I mean, she's because I guess Kobe had this thing where he like wanted to learn by ear how to play, I think, Beethoven's Sonata or something, and so she played that as like her tribute to him, and she's an incredible pianist. So that was great. And then Christina Aguilera and Pure, they're a Catholic family, the Bryants are, and so they did Ave Maria, which for all of my Catholics and all my Italians out there, Ave Maria is like, you hear it at every funeral, you hear it at every wedding. Just a big part of that culture. And Jimmy Kimmel was the MC/host of the event, because him and Kobe were very close friends from when they were first, both in LA and everything like that. And it was a beautiful memorial, and they highlighted a lot of, I think it was beautiful how they did it for Gigi, how they highlighted a lot of like what her goals and her dreams were, because they brought in the UConn women's basketball coach and a couple of like other women's basketball players that were mentors and close to the family. So it definitely had this whole spin of being like very much so like empowerment. I thought it'd be a little bit more about like Black empowerment, but it wasn't as much that as it was like empowerment for like female athletes, which I think was kind of an interesting thing for them to do. I mean, he was known for being like a big girl dad, so I think that was kind of sweet. And then I think that one of the funnier experiences of it was how Michael Jordan came up and talked for a bit, and he said something about, he broke down and cried, and he's like, now I'm gonna have to spend more years of seeing myself as a crying meme, I guess. So like it was funny. They had definitely some lighter moments, and it was beautifully done. It was kind of crazy to see all of these people there.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, just I kind of already had put it like past me, same. Watching those things sometimes, it's like you're just like, I'm just not a huge sports person, so like it is very sad and everything, but I don't know, didn't choose to watch it. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people were like that.
I wasn't gonna I guess like I didn't purposely put it on, but because it was on, I watched it and I like actually paid attention. But I know a lot of people who searched it out. Like he's a star that has had a presence in a lot of people's lives, whether his drive or things like that. So cool.
Well, I'm glad I went off without a hitch. So Pete Davidson trying to keep the lights on over here.
Yeah. So he has a new Netflix special, and he also did a big interview with Charlamagne the God. And he's brought up several of his exes, and he brought up the whole idea that he loves love, like he's kind of similar to you, he's a lover boy. But something he brought up about, like, mostly he had good things to say about all of his exes, but he kind of shaded Ariana Grande, being like, like obviously she's the shade queen, like that's, she has songs about it. She has whatever. Like, I have, my comedy. Right. I have stuff like that. But he did say something along the lines of being like, he's like, my career would be over. Like, he's like, you aren't airing. He's like, people will say, like, you're like, Pete, this isn't fair. You're airing out dirty laundry. How could you do that? Why did she say this stuff? He's like, but where did she say this stuff? To her friends in the confidence of her own home? No, she said it on the cover of a Vogue magazine. Like, could you imagine if I did that? My career would be over tomorrow if I spray painted myself brown and hopped on the cover of Vogue.
Oh, damn.
And started shitting on my ex. So, like, that's definitely, like, shading her for, like, her. There's been a lot of, like,
that's
thinking
pretty petty,
that she's,
though.
like, blackfishing or black baiting and, like, her blackface-ish tanning that she tends to do and just, like, performances and things like that. So, that's pretty petty coming from him, especially because he usually keeps Ariana Grande jokes like off limits in a lot of his things, just because he doesn't he's like, that's over, that's done. But he did open up about saying how, after Mac Miller died, he knew that, things were going to end for them because she had so much love for him, and that,
it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of like
going on for her that he couldn't be there for.
I feel him. Well, what made you go yikes this week, V?
This is a Jake Paul yikes week for me.
Okay.
In general, I hate Jake Paul. I don't know who, he's infamous, in the sense that he's a YouTuber. He's known for doing like all these crazy stunts and just being an asshole in general.
He's like younger brother to other Logan Paul.
They're both disgusting. Just disgusting people. But so he's been on.
Yeah, Logan Paul was the kid that, if you guys don't know.
Yeah, we talked about it in an episode like a year or two ago.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that we talked about it. But yeah, no,
he went to like a Japanese suicide forest or whatever, and like.
Yeah, he found a dead body and he filmed it and then put it on YouTube.
Disgusting.
What an idiot.
Anyway, so
it almost ruined his career.
Yeah, but somehow.
Yeah.
Jake Paul tweeted something about anxiety, saying, "Remember, anxiety is created by you. Sometimes you gotta let life play out and remind yourself to be happy and that the answers will come. Chill your mind out, go for a walk, talk to a friend." And this got a lot of backlash because people are like, yo, you've got a very impressionable young audience and you're like out here saying that like anxiety isn't real. You're like saying that it's something that like people should just go walk and like then they can deal with it. Like, it's kind of like the whole like, like, this isn't real, it's all in your head kind of deal.
It's weird because like this episode I just watched today of This Is Us, it kind of has all that. Randall it's very known that he has bad anxiety since he was a kid. And his father Jack teaches him how, like, throughout the show he's been a big runner, and you see that his dad introduced running to him to, like, instead of coping with it other ways. Like, I mean, back in the day, that's kind of, people didn't really know about that type of stuff. But,
yeah.
But now, so now it's kind of him in the future, like, dealing with, like his anxiety and stuff, and going to a therapist and everything. And he's, like, in denial that he thinks he doesn't need it. And
yeah,
it's just very interesting, like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if he watched the episode of This Is Us and tweeted.
I mean, like, exercise is obviously like something that can help, but
it helps a lot.
But like, it's definitely like that's not the same thing as being like, okay, like, you create anxiety, just go for a walk kind of deal. So he got a lot of backlash about that, and I think he ended up taking it down because people are like, yo. And he like tried to spin it so hard, being like, man, I didn't even know I had anxiety until now, and like, look, this tweet's like getting so much like word out there about anxiety. And it's like, no, Jake. And so then he also took to Twitter earlier, I guess, like, he was in Vegas to see some the big fight, Wilder versus Fury, and so was Zayn Malik, former One Direction star. And he got drunk and I guess tweeted saying, like, almost had to clap up Zayn from One Direction because he is a little guy and has an attitude, and basically told me to F off for no reason, and I was being nice to him. He's like, Zayn, I know you're reading this. Stop being angry because you home alone to your big ass hotel room. Ha ha ha. So Zayn's newly gotten back together girlfriend, Gigi Hadid, took to Twitter to be like, LOL, because he doesn't want to care to hang with you and your embarrassing crew of YouTube groupies. Home alone with his best friends like a respectful king because he has me, sweetie. unbothered by your irrelevant, ugly ass. Go to bed.
Damn.
And Zayn didn't say anything because Zayn's like, whatever.
Yeah.
But then, he went. Jake Paul ended up like deleting those tweets and like tweeting later, being like, "Someone take my phone away from me when I'm drunk because I'm an idiot."
Yeah, I mean, I
My
used to
thing is,
be
like, come on, dude.
I used to be like that in the early days of Facebook. The wild, you probably could see like some scroll back to like and see me going off on like ruining people's careers on Facebook just because they pissed me off and I had a couple of drinks, being like, "Yo, this person, like, the mics were all messed up. That wasn't my fault. Like, this shit, going off and stuff."
Yeah,
so
that's why the
next
these
morning
days
you're
I
like,
sometimes on these days sometimes if I still have like, I don't know, just like embarrassing things, I'm like, let me go back and delete this or that, or like even if I see anything that I'm like, this could be construed the wrong way.
There's always a way to pull all that shit back, I feel like, but
I know.
Well, that's what's up. Do we have any mini main topics?
Yeah.
What do we want to talk about?
I have it highlighted.
Okay.
So I was wondering, even in this era of feminism and, women gaining more prevalence and higher positions and finding success in their own ways, I feel like there still are we're talking about more hetero-based relationships. There's still plenty of men who sometimes either just blatantly shy away or won't date women that tend to be more successful than them. Just either it's in money or in rank. Or
I think it's the opposite way. Like, the funny part that you bring it up, it's like, for me, I think anyone that's like successful doesn't want to date below them. I think it's more of like that type of thing. Just because, and it's not even like, I'm not saying that me personally, I'm just saying that I think it's just one of those things of status, like that we've just been growing up to like raised to be like, well, if I'm making this much, like the person that I pick should at least be making like more than me, unless like you're like legit, like don't care, like, you're that successful that you're like, I don't really care as long as they're like, good person and they're not like complete like bum, then let's go for it. But yeah, I mean, I would think like, I've never really, I date inside my means, I guess. I don't know how to like write that down as a title. Dating in my means. Dating in means, or dating my means. But yeah, no, I mean, it's like, you just kind of have to, that's what the dating scene is for. Like, you kind of have to feel like, what you're comfortable with. I mean, if you're not comfortable with someone making more money than you don't think that's like a good, like,
I feel
reason to like maybe like, or for like reasons for a person to feel insecure about themselves and just like they don't like, I would feel like, like a bum. Like I might not be a bum, but like I would feel like, damn, like, maybe I gotta level up. The person with more money would have to put in more work to let the other one know, like for real, like it has like nothing to do with like your money. Like, I want you just to be happy and I want to be happy with you.
Yeah. Do you think that differs? Like, I feel like especially typically, there's like the stereotypes that women go after men who have more money, or even just the idea.
They definitely do. I've talked to many girls that they could easily find guys that just would like just be rich and like it's not even a matter of like they can be attractive, but like you can find some rich people that you would be happy just being around.
You got to think about like even just the idea of like having a sugar daddy.
It's just completely like different for girls than it is for guys. For me,
but
I would love a rich older woman just to like be like, I'm making good money. Like, I mean, you make decent money, but like it's like, so I'm going to pay for dates and we're gonna go on vacations and I'll like really throw down for it, and I'd be like, fuck yeah. Like, I just want you to know that like this is not me taking advantage of this situation thing. It's just like, I am very lucky that you like me situation. Like,
well, so, and I mean, I guess like that's not, I feel like this is like a newer topic because it hasn't always been. I mean, there's
well,
still,
me, I've talked about in the past about like, what's important for me is for even a woman to speak up about wanting to, contribute to things like, paying for dates or, doing things like, it's just one of those things. It's like, oh, you grab coffee, I'm grabbing drinks. Like, you got dinner last time, it's on me. Like, it's just,
you get the like,
once you get on that
tickets,
vibe,
you get the snacks.
That's honestly one of the most like attractive things about a girl to me. Like, and also because like, and it feels really good too when you're just like, no, I got it. No, I promise. Like, I got it. I want to do, I like, what I'm saying? It feels so much better. Like, because I mean, most of the time, if a person offers, every other time I'm going to be like either yes or no, but it's not always like, it's just nice. So, if someone was richer than, or had more money than me, I would definitely be like, sweet, this is awesome.
Yeah, but like, I guess like, would you rather date someone who's like smarter than you or someone who's like maybe not as smart as you?
Before I get to that question, I just want to think of another point that would suck for dating someone that's richer than you. It's just like holidays and gifts and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why you always have to like set like limits. I even like have talked to some of my friends who, I mean, even if they make like comparable amounts of money or like whatever, they usually like set like, okay, like this is like our gift limit amount. Like just because like
still, but like you got your like,
you don't want to feel awkward.
No,
and then, like,
but still, like, I mean, you still want to get that dope ass gift, but just know that my gift to you is not going to be as dope as your gift to me. Like, and that's just how it is. Like, because women are making more money now, so it's like I'm just gonna go with it.
I'm just gonna go with it.
So it's just one of those things. But what was the question you just asked?
So like, would you rather, and like if we're talking about success, we're talking about like, I guess like intellectual success, would you rather date somebody who's smarter than you or someone who maybe isn't as smart as you?
Well, that's a deep psychological question because, you kind of want to be like the one that knows it all. Like, and that's just like in any like kind of like situation. But at the same time, I'm the type of person that likes to keep smarter people around me because it makes me like, I honestly, if I could be the dumbest person in the room, that's like the times I'm like, I feel like I'm doing the most moves. Like I'm learning the most things because I'm like maybe not saying as much because I'm listening more. Like really smart people make me listen more. Yeah. So it's like, I'd rather just, I don't know. I don't know. That's the push and pull with me is that I do like to talk. Yeah. But like when there's smarter people, a lot of the times it's like,
you're like, hang on.
Yeah, I got to listen. So like, wow. Yeah, that's kind of like, that's the push and pull for me. But
I feel like for me, I feel like I've talked or joked even on this podcast about how like I kind of like, it's like a power and leverage to kind of be a little bit, like you said, like kind of know it all or like have maybe that step up over maybe a significant other or a friend or whatever. And I'm very lucky that like some of my closest friends or whatever, like they're all incredibly smart. Like my closest friends from college are like way smarter than me. And I mean, I'm happy.
I think about that like about a lot of people at work, like sometimes I work with, like I'm just like, I know I'm smart and I know I'm good at what I do, but like, you just like see, and a lot of them are like women. So it's like, it's really like cool to see like, really smart people around me. And I'm just like, recognizing that about them. Like some things they just get. And I'm just like, been in the game for a minute. I just don't get that shit. Like, and it's just like, damn, they're smart in that thing. But then they look at me and they're like, damn, Sai's like really smart in these things and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's important. Like when it comes to a relationship, like I'd rather it be, I guess, balanced in that sense, like where I feel like I am really smart in a lot of different ways, but I would want my partner to be smart in ways that I'm not smart in. Kind of like what you said, like you want to be surrounding yourself with people that you can like learn from, grow from, whatever. Because I feel like I've definitely been on dates or like been whatever, where for me, like I'm a conversationalist. So like if you're not able to feed back with me because like your knowledge level isn't there, like that's not gonna be worth it for me. Or like I feel like there's been times where I've been stopped on dates or anything because like I don't even think my vocabulary is that vast, but like I read and I studied journalism and I study words, and words are like what I like, so I know things here and there. But there's definitely been times where like I've had to like repeat what I was saying to like somebody before because they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm like, being like, and so like to me, I guess like that's like a baby red flag.
Well, I guess I don't know, like to kind of like piggyback off that, like there is, I mean, I could see like maybe a masculine feminine thing happening where like a girl thinks that she like knows more than me. Or like, I think that's just an unattractive quality in a person, when you feel like the other person is a know-it-all. Like, I think it's like, it's one of those things that like you just have to keep in check. Like, we all think we know it all, so it's like, you just can't push it off that vibe that to this person that like, some people are like free thinkers. They really have like really, basic but like smart ways of thinking about like situations. But if you like over explain it too much, or you think like you have like the answers to all like, problems and stuff just with your way of thinking, like even if it could be like beneficial to the other person is just going to be like, this person is just like,
or they're going to shut down. There's
Yeah.
definitely a way to like, there's definitely a way to communicate. Maybe
you have to be self-aware, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just know how you're coming off. And
I feel like I've even experienced that with friends. Like I have friends, I have very smart friends, and like there's times of like one of us says something. Sometimes I feel like I've even been afraid to say something in a group message before, because I've been like, oh, she's definitely gonna be like, how do you not know? Like, you didn't know that? Like, and I'm like, there's a way to go about that where, especially like I feel like, we both like are exposed to a lot of different like news things, whatever, and like that's just kind of like who we are as people, me and you, like where we sit. And like sometimes I'm like, well, no, like I wasn't like, that's not something I typically expose myself to, so like I'm not gonna know.
But there's also like another thing, like you have like a similar thing that like my ex would do, that like it kind of gets under my skin, but like it's just because we're both into the same stuff. So it'll be like, I'll be like, hey, like V, did you hear about this? And you'll already be like, I know, I like already read about. I'm like, well, okay, well, I kind of want to like talk about it a little bit.
But I don't
like it was like, all right, then I guess we just won't talk this morning, because all the news I read about and all that stuff you've already read, and we have nothing to talk about.
Like, I want to talk about it, obviously, and I feel like that's why we have a podcast.
Yeah.
But like, but yeah, I guess like that's definitely like something I try to like. I mean, like, yeah, I see, and I think sometimes like that's come from like dealing with people who are like blah blah blah, like, oh, you didn't know this? That's why almost like maybe sometimes it's more of a defense thing, being like, oh, like I saw that, blah, blah, blah. But usually I'm like, I want that to be more of an opener, to be like, oh, I read that too. I would like to talk about it because I also know about it and have some thoughts.
The defense time comes out mostly when like you think I'm coming at you because of your age or something. Like I'm like, I'll say this and you'll be like, I know what that is. And I'm like, I'm not saying that like you don't know what that is.
Well, because you used to say that.
Well, there are some things that I understand that you wouldn't know, because like we are different in age and stuff. But like, but yeah, no, I think it's a good question. I think, I don't have an issue with any of that shit. And I don't know. I think it would take an insecure person to, see a rich, like, how stupid would you have to be? Like, a rich, beautiful girl is like into you and you like care about anything about her money? Like, shut up.
Yeah.
Poor you. Like, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I am.
Step it up.
I feel like that, comes down to
that should motivate you to want to do better or whatever.
Yeah,
Be like, goddamn, like this fucking awesome person is like killing it out there. Like, I want to just be killing it just with her alongside her.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like that, it comes down to a lot of like fragile masculinity and being like, okay.
And a person like that can maybe even support like your actual passions and dreams. If a rich woman came and was like, look, like, that those thousands of dollars making a year, like, what if we just like, you didn't have to worry about like you lived here and like all day long you just work on your music and videos and just like work on your brand, and let's like
and then maybe she would have like, even if like she's successful, she's like, oh, I know like the right people to like
hook
you up with.
Yeah,
whatever.
like, I got the perfect person. All you need to do is like this and that, and I'm just be like, yes, baby. You know what I'm saying? I love you, rich baby. I love you, rich baby. Titles. Oh man. But anyways, I think that's pretty interesting. We talked about it earlier. We didn't get to do our live watch for Bachelor, but this week's Bachelor was actually kind of crazy. And I actually, it's funny because like the weeks we don't watch together, like, and then maybe I have to watch it the next day. Like I go back after watching to watch your tipsy talks to see, like, it's just like, I want to know what you like, because I sometimes I'm like, man, I form these opinions on the show and then I'll listen to you like talk about it, and I'm like, this was actually like the other angle I was looking for to talk about, because I don't see it sometimes like you do. Like I'm just like I'm very interested to hear of your what you think about this episode, and not like anything crazy happened, but it just was an episode I was into.
Let's start it off. So we begin the episode, catching up after, he's already dumped Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
And then Maddie is like, I want to go talk to you. So they go sit on the breakup bench, which is scaring Peter. He actually says that. You're scaring me. And, she uses that time to tell him that she wouldn't be able to.
This was where I think she messed up.
I agree. That she says, I don't think I'd be able to.
Or maybe it was genius move.
I wouldn't be able to go through with a proposal if you are intimate with the other women.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, okay, and she's like, I had to let you know. And he's like, and you know, in his like little horn dog,
They should have nipped it in a bud there.
And you know, in his little horn dog mind, he's
No,
like,
there's two things that should have happened. He should have either been like, I don't want to be put in that situation, because the only thing that he did was like gave himself time to realize if he wanted to hurt Madison or not. And
yeah, because he loves Madison, which I get. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
They've always had a connection.
But he knew what it is, like, you know what I'm saying? But in that moment, she should have also told him that he was a virgin. She was a virgin, I think.
Yeah, and that I think.
Did you think she had to though?
I think if this was important to her, and because it's like part of her faith, and it's something
You're gonna get married to someone.
Yeah, and that like that's what she's saving herself for marriage based on her faith. I think that's something that she should have expressed. My thing is like, obviously, I think that's something she should have, even knowing what she was getting into going on to the show. I think, once they started to have a deeper connection, I think that should have been brought up sooner.
Yeah, like at the parents' house.
Yeah, I think it definitely should have been. I mean, yeah,
Before
like I
the
feel
parents'
like
house.
the parents tiptoed around like, her being pure and like faith and whatever, and I don't even think they drank alcohol there. I think that
she messed up. She should have talked to him sooner about it, but she just gave him an ultimatum kind of that he was not going to follow. Like, he had two beautiful other girls before, and that's where we get to. We were talking. You were like,
Peter
why would they
4 times Weber?
No, but they're like, why would they put these three girls in the same like place to live and stuff? And the reason is, it's like because they knew what they were doing. They wanted to create drama. They put the three of them there.
Yeah.
That shit was so awkward to watch them have to just watch each other go off to dates and sit on that couch and look at each other.
Yeah, and it was supposed to like kind of help force the issue of where, we all have seen that Peter hasn't been able to like make decisions well this entire season. And, even though he didn't even do hometown really with Victoria F, he still kept her around because like he wanted to bang. And
like at this point, even Colton, I mean, I guess he was a virgin, so it's a little different, but Colton did better than this. Like, I feel like.
Yeah, Colton just jumped over a fence.
I mean, Colton didn't even. I mean, he's a virgin, so he didn't like hook up with two girls before like picking, like which one he like. He
didn't even like see the other two before.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that. Like, at least Colton, like, like he picked the girl he knew he liked, and he was like, I'm done with the show. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's respectable actually. And this kind of was just like, obviously. I mean, not too much happens really in this episode besides just like that. They led up to that Madison thing.
Yeah, they all go on their separate dates. They all have like kind of like awkward. The girls have awkward conversations in their suite that they share together, and like they all like pretty much like Victoria F and Hannah Ann are like.
Hannah Ann's went fucking without a hitch. Like, that was just like picture perfect date. Victoria F, of course, like the same stuff. Like, she gets in her head and she gets so like. It's kind of crazy. Like, her defense mechanism is to completely like lose it. Like, she just like loses like Peter was kind of probing her weirdly.
Well,
I don't know what the hell was happening.
She totally gaslit him during the hometown episode. Like, that was like blatant gaslighting. What she was doing during the hometown episode. Like, she was like actively being like, you're crazy. Like, how would you come here? And he's like, what are you even saying to me? Like, what are we even?
But
anyway,
what was this then? Like, what was Peter? Like, Peter was trying to get something like, what has happened to you in the past that makes you like this? No, you have to tell me like what it is.
Yeah,
like, it has to be something. What did this guy do to you?
Yeah, he's probing.
And I feel like when I was like in watching it, I was like, is this dude like thinking it's Chase Rice? Like, he's like, what did Chase Rice do to you?
It was Chase, the one on the Chase Rice.
Like, what did that guy that was singing to us on that microphone?
One on the stage?
The one that was playing the guitar for us.
The one that got his phone number?
The one that you said you dated.
Yeah.
What did he do to you?
Chase Rice?
Yeah.
Chase Rice? No, but I feel like he must like, I think he must like know, or like, I mean, there's whispers and stuff about like, whatever Victoria has done. And then obviously he heard from his ex when they visited hometowns. And
that wasn't his ex, was it?
Yeah, the blurred out face girl, that was his ex.
I thought they were just friends.
Nope, that was his ex.
So he literally dated a girl that was best friends with Victoria F?
Yeah.
What?
She used to live in LA by him, then she moved to Virginia Beach, and then that's when she met Victoria F, and they were friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a small world. It's
well, I mean, it's just interesting too. Like, he's just dumb. He's just really dumb.
He's really dumb and whatever. And like their whole date, like him and Victoria F, like they felt like they made moves or whatever. The fact that he started the date being like, I love everything about my relationship with Victoria F except our communication is literally just code for like, I think she's hot, I want to bang her, because like communication is the basis of any relationship, friendship, family, romantic relationship. Like you can't.
Yeah, this is where Peter is just like completely. He legit thought he was going to get to these. He was like, all right, what 3 hot girls can I have sex with, and then pick one to like marry, and sit here and like, dude, you look like a freaking. Like evil person, dude. Like, you look like a person that's like sitting here looking someone in the face while like, stop thinking about this process being so like magical and stuff. Like, dude, it's not magical. Like, be a real human being. You are dating 3 other people. This girl's a virgin, and she's just telling you right now she's not gonna marry you if you had sex with a person 6 days before, like getting down on one knee. Like, in what world do you think that this is okay? Like, it's not.
No.
So it's like, dude, just drop the fucking. And next week, obviously, he's with his tail between his legs. It looks like he's gonna cry and try to beg like for everything for Madison. I think that's what the mom is actually.
That's been my theory, is that it's that she wants, because
Madison
back.
saw them at the top of the show and stuff, and they loved her and everything. Yeah. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It's just like, it's kind of messed up, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, even if I was a bachelor, like this, it just seemed like the whole time Peter just wanted to get to those like fantasy suites with some hot girls. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah. I just feel like whenever he's
just like, grooming them along the way to just like get to the fantasy suites.
Whenever like he's made things being like, I'm very serious about this. Like, even when he's like, knocked off other, like, I mean, even how he knocked off Kelly, being like, I don't think you're taking this seriously enough.
Yeah,
like,
he's a jerk, dude.
I'm like, no, you just like want these damaged girls.
And this is jerk episode part 1. Jerk episode part 2 is coming next week when he actually leaves the 2 girls he just had sex with, that he like convinced that he was going to marry them.
That he told that he loved them.
And now he's got to bounce and go pick the girl that like is a virgin after having sex with these girls, and he's probably going to get her back.
Yeah, until after telling them that he loved them, whatever. And he played, like, I was joking. I was like, oh, did he go to like the Ben Higgins School of Love? Because like, sorry, Higgins.
Yeah.
But but like the whole like, I'm in love with like all 3 of them. I'm like, brother, like, come on, like, you can't be playing these games with them at this point.
And I think a good rule, like, I don't know, man. That fantasy suites, like, I don't know if like you should have sex in there.
And some of them have like come out afterwards saying like that,
like,
they
do everything
didn't,
but sex.
Yeah, that they didn't have sex, and that they actually used it, like they talked all night, or like they fooled around but like talked all night and whatever. And I feel like, especially
like, at least like that's like, like, all right, so you guys like blew each other, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But like, I'm not gonna like sit here, and it's true, like, it's kind of nasty. Like, Victoria F hops on it right after Hannah.
Yeah, and it's and especially because they had to like come back and be like, hey, your vagina juice is about.
Oh my god, no.
But like, it's just weird. And then so a lot of people were trying to compare.
I was gonna write it down as a, but I don't think it's gonna win. But it's there.
Anyways, a lot of people were comparing Madison to Luke P. from
Not even
Fantasy,
close.
which I don't think
for a split second I thought it was similar, but it's not, because like he was a born again.
He's a born again
virgin,
which like whatever. So like technically he has had sex before, and so he
and he was straight. He was straight manipulating her the whole season.
Well, yeah, and also
he
then used it to slut shame her. Like, I don't think Madison was sitting there like.
Madison was
slut-shaming.
Essentially all she was saying is like, I cannot look my family and friends in the face after accepting your proposal, after I have no idea what's going on until I watch, TV.
Yeah, and then I mean, and even after hearing him be like, yeah, I was intimate, like that, I could understand her position being like, yeah, that's weird to me, like being like, yeah, I want to marry you. You like, had to bang it out with 2 other girls and then get down on one knee.
Well,
to figure
so then
it out.
how do you feel about the whole line that's like, you know what you signed up for? Because I've said it about girls before, like, you do know what you signed up for, but like, at what point, like, what are you signing up for? Like, to be a slut? Like, you have to have sex with this person and you have to, like, marry somebody after they just bang two people?
Yeah, which, like, I mean, there's been other girls who, like, on Chris Soul's season, I forget her name. I think her name is Becca. She was, like, the hot nurse one, and she was a virgin. And, like, she didn't, like, they didn't have sex and, like, whatever. And then, of course, he didn't end up picking her. But, like, but he's trash. But I feel like, you know,
it would be horrible though after like having sex and then like not having like
yeah,
you know, I don't know. That's also the
I feel like
other
that's
end
like
of
applicable even like to real life scenarios where it's like you could tell somebody that you like them, whatever, have sex with them, and then like afterwards be like, you know,
can't do this forever.
Yeah. And so I feel like that's sort of but I think so that's what I'm saying. Like with Madison, I think she definitely should have told when things were starting to get serious between them. Like when they were having a connection, they were going on a lot of one-on-one dates. I feel like she probably should have said earlier, being like, hey, this is a large part of my life, my faith. And like, I, you know, am saving myself for marriage, blah, blah, blah.
That's the only manipulative part that I see about Madison. It's like
she definitely
you got yourself all the way to the
that
end.
information until she was on her date. Like she should have, like when they even went out to the breakup bench, she should have told him at that point instead of framing it in a way of being like, I don't think I could go through with this.
Right.
If you
I'm
have
watching
sex.
Love Is Blind, and one of the contestants, he's a real douche. You can tell he's gonna be a douche, but he like proposes to a girl, and then he's like, I still have this secret about my sexuality and stuff. And it's just, he obviously was like bi, or he had like hooked up with like men in the past and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, I think that's like deceiving. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a person has a right or not right to like want or not want things in their life. It's not like, hey, it's just like, you know, that's just not like, you know, what I imagined my future husband to be. And that's completely understandable. Like a person doesn't have to accept anything about you, but like, you know, if they are going to pursue and go down things, there's going to be hard conversations, and you have to be honest with everything.
Yeah.
You know, especially in like a hyper focused, like, you know, accelerated social experiment like The Bachelor or any dating show. Like you have to just, you know, you end up looking like an asshole at the end when you have like a piece of information you knew this whole time that would probably get you sent home, but you just kind of like,
which is like, that's even shitty if that's like, I mean, the main basis of why you get sent home. So I could see like, you know, I feel like it's a scary situation to broach that subject, but obviously,
but that's your decision in life. You know that we're living in a world now that people don't think about sex like that. Not a most majority of people. Like a lot of those people are going to get phased out. Most of those people are religious and they want to believe that, and that's for them to believe. But you have to know that like outside of the church doors, most people are having sex, and you know, they don't want to have the pressure of being your first time, letting you down, it not being good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we're out here like got like a practice and know our kinks and know what we like and stuff. And now it's just like, you know, I'm not saying a person that's a virgin can't catch up and do all that stuff, but it's just like so many factors that it's understandable why like a virgin and person that has sex, like, you know, wouldn't match.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you need to go towards something that has more of those type of values.
Yeah. I mean, it
you know,
definitely,
like how'd you feel about her confessing like the things she's had to put up with, like, or she's already compromised like about herself? You know, like I don't even think that's fair. She's like, you know, I made out with you, so you can make out with me.
Well, and I feel like the way that she was like, oh, I like, you know, I compromised like you like making out with like other people and whatever. That's when it comes down to being like, you do know what you signed up for. Like this is obviously a competition show. Like he's gonna be making out with bunch of different people. He's gonna be going on dates with a bunch of different people. Like that's literally what you're signing up for. So like I don't think that was like super fair of her to say that. Like that was something she was compromising, like being okay with that thing, like those things happening, just because like that's the nature of the show. But
dude, you know, being human is so weird. It's just like weird because like I could get one side of seeing like how making out is like way different than like putting other two body parts together or whatever like that, but it's still kind of like pretty nasty. You're putting like holes against holes or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Things against things.
Things against things.
But like, what makes like, shoving your tongue down each other's mouths like different than like, humping each other or something like that. So
I don't know. Yeah. Like, how have we created this? Like, I mean, as a society, like ever since like the beginning days, I guess we've created like a hierarchy of like these acts, these sexual acts, like you
what
think
makes
about even as like the
what
basis.
makes me grabbing a breast any less like sexual than like me and another person like open mouth like tonguing, like that actually sounds like a lot worse than like the boob touching, but I'm not gonna go around grabbing boobs here anymore, so no. It's a new day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, but
so yeah, I'm interested to see
next
how
week's episode is just like
pretty much
Peter's a jerk part 2.
Yeah, I think he's gonna leave both those girls at the proverbial altar, and
not every girl is just gonna hate him.
Which
I would love if Madison was like, dude, I told you, it's over. Go home.
Yeah, I kind of am interested to see like who, if anybody, he even ends up with.
Yeah, it sounds like he's going to. What does it be? It's what's been happening a lot towards the end of these seasons lately. It's where people just go all in, where they're just like they're cashing in all their chips. They're going all in on their deal. And if it doesn't pass, like I mean, it's worked out. Like Colton got his girl. Ari got his girl.
Yeah, Ari was a real jerk though. He like fully got engaged to someone else, and then like weeks in was like,
he was like, I'm going all in. I could like legit leave this season with nothing. But
actually, though, I like the other. That was some shit. God, Ari.
Yeah, but
and his
anyways,
baby's ugly now. That's your karma.
Oh my god, it's a baby. Jeez,
that baby is ugly.
Oh my god, Veronica, can't control its face. But. Anywho, another thing we say a lot, I guess. Why don't we get into our slapper of the week? This slapper.
Preface the slapper because it's funny.
This slapper is actually really funny because I've been getting into watching David Dobrik, who is very popular. Like a lot of people probably know of this guy. Yeah. He's a huge YouTuber, but
he's from like a Chicagoland area, actually.
Well, now he's in LA with all his friends, the Vlog Squad, and like the reason why like I'm just like been very interested lately in creating like a vlog. Like I feel like our group of friends, like all the things we do like every weekend, like I'm just like, hold on, I'm just hanging out with my friends every weekend and the funniest stuff is happening and I just want to document it all and then shove it into like 5 minutes of video and just go from scene to scene, just like all the funny things like of like a weekend or whatever. But so he inspires me a lot in that way. But he has a girl in the crew called Natalie. It's his assistant, and they actually have like grown up like from like middle. Actually, I think it was like even before middle school. They were neighbors and like and
Glen Ellen, I think Illinois is where he's from or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and so like essentially this girl Natalie is beautiful as hell, like and all the guys like she is like perfect, like she's like the girl next door. She's beautiful and she's smart and she's just really cool. Like I think she's really cool.
So he's like blushing over here about this girl that he's never gonna meet.
Well, don't ever say never because I could meet her.
Never
and watch,
say never.
Now I'm going to meet Natalie just because I want to throw it in your face. Yeah.
The power.
Well, because of my love for Natalie, but it's funny because we were watching that video and it was like, maybe you find a girl like Natalie or like whoever the Natalie is in your life. So, one of the guys in the crew, like is obsessed with her. It's probably like the Psy of their crew. And
it kind of seems like the Psy of
their crew. I want to write a song about a girl in our crew. So, essentially, the song's called Natalina, which is like the beginning of her Instagram name by Toddy Smith, and it's just a guy that's obsessed with her. And the song is really fun, and it's actually really good. So, without further ado, Natalina by Toddy Smith, our slapper of the week. Let's go.
Slapper of the week. This song slaps.
Yeah, slapper of the week, Natalina by Toddy Smith of the Vlog Squad. Available on Spotify or wherever you listen to your streaming stuff. But I'm going to meet Natalie one day. That'd be so great. That'd be so cool.
How old is she?
I don't know. She's old enough.
She's legal.
Yeah.
Who let the dogs out?
I love that sound effect. So it's like
Who let
Anyways, but
these
do you have any
streets.
shout outs, V? Who's your shout outs this week?
All right. I wanted to I'll shout out first Michaela, my gal. She's my dance instructor. She's also a great spray tanner here in the ATL area.
Okay.
She will come to you. You can come to her. She does a great job.
Does she do guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
She does anybody.
Cool,
I mean,
cool. I could get a tan.
yeah, just really the future brown bachelor. So you
Crispy
can
Brown.
find her at Body Brown's ATL or just at Michaela M7. That's MIKAYLAM7.
Promo code Future Batch.
Future batch. No, but honestly, like she's very affordable. She does a great job. She's done we've talked about strippers multiple times in this episode. She's done strippers here in the Atlanta area, and like strip clubs are very prominent here. So
Yes.
she's doing a good job with that. I
Cool.
wanted to shout out my pal Ross, who is one of my friends from college, who is moving from here, Atlanta, his hometown, to Salt Lake City.
Wow.
For a new job.
What up,
Yeah.
Ross? Congratulations. We'll miss
So
you.
I'm gonna miss him. I'm excited. But then my other friend Zach Knip, is moving back here. So I shouted him out a little bit earlier. So a lot of moving.
Nice.
And then I wanted to shout out a new compadre.
Okay.
Jeff DeLeo.
Okay.
And he is, he's been giving me a lot of feedback on
Good?
the episode. Yeah, I mean, he really wants to get
Bad?
good. He
Okay.
really wants to get a song that he's really into music. So he wants to get one of his
Tell
songs.
him like he makes music.
He just like he's,
It's like even hard to get my music on here. Be like, V, I want my music to be slapper. She's like, I don't know.
okay, it's
One day you're gonna be like,
you.
I actually did a podcast with him. His music is amazing, but like now it's like, I don't know. I like the Jonas Brothers new single.
I would never sound that desperate, like being like, I know, Sally, like as I'm like on the side of a road, like I don't know. You made me
I'm
sound
just
like,
joking.
You made me sound like I'm a cracked out,
No, you're
homeless person.
you're
like,
gonna still
"I
be
want
there
new-
with me."
I want new Sashi.
But that's one of
Yeah,
the one of the things that's
I'll be
arising.
a fucking manager.
No, but I would love that actually. You'd be a good manager. I
know.
But you would have to be able to take I guess you already kind of do that sometimes, but take orders from me. You'd be like, no, fuck you, do it yourself. Be like, you're my manager though. Like you got to talk to that person. You're like, oh
I mean, yeah, I take order, but I would also be ordering you around. I'd be setting everything up for you.
Yeah, actually, that sounds like a good relationship.
It sounds like what we already do.
Wow. Okay. Getting carried away over here, but what were we talking about? Oh yeah, music. So whatever.
Music. All right,
It's not making us come together.
do
My
your
shout outs, the
shout-outs.
Parker brothers again. Shout out to you guys, Alex and Adam. And then I wanted to shout out some more compadres. Ivan and Dallas, they were at our 100th episode,
Yeah.
and they're just really cool people. And I'm glad we're becoming really tight friends. And welcome to the Future Batch fam and our
I know.
friends.
I love
Actually, they've been friends with these people longer than we're just all melding
I think
friend
it's
crews
funny
together.
that our friend Ray.
Oh yeah, he knew Ray and stuff. So.
They
Shout out to
grew
Ray
up
too.
and stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Multiple people who know Ray from
Future
growing
Bachelors
up.
bringing people together. It's crazy.
crazy.
Actually, I just remembered a crazy story that a friend of ours went out on a date with a girl the girl. Or he had told the girl that I can't meet up tonight because I got to go to this podcast thing. It's their 100th episode. So then our friend Lacey, who was at the 100th episode, was out to dinner with a friend and she said that she was going to a podcast thing, and he's like, that's weird. My friend just said that she just met a guy on a dating app that's going to a podcast thing, and it's called Future Bachelor. And dude, it's crazy. Both of them were going to a podcast thing, and they had mutual friends that knew each other, that they connected, that they were both going to podcast things. Our podcast is taking over. It's crazy. So
gotta
tell
give
your
me more-
friends,
you gotta-
connect us with more people.
You gotta give me
people.
some stickers before I leave tonight.
Yes, you're right. Oh, bring them to Miami. That's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you're heading to Miami this weekend. What do you got going on?
So with my dance girls, we're doing a little dance retreat.
Mm-hmm.
We do Vixen dance, which is a hip hop kind of sexy kind of women's empowerment kind of vibe.
Cool.
And so they're headquartered in Miami, so we're gonna do some classes there. We're gonna do just some fun. We're doing a fun group dinner. We're gonna have a beach day. We're gonna do different fun things. And so I'm really excited to just have some girl time and
Dope.
we're gonna do like a little photo shoot. I have no idea what I'm gonna wear for that yet. Figuring that out. But yeah, that's why I got my little spray tan, so I'm not looking like a pasty white fool on the beaches of Miami next to these people who have been tanning year round.
Right. That's what's up. I'm actually heading to Florida too. I'm gonna be driving down to Orlando, and I want to see my nephew. That's all I really want to do. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Like, he's like growing fast. Like, you know.
You would hope.
Well, yeah, definitely. We want him to grow fast, but it's like I know when like now it's like, yo, slow down. Like, these kids are gonna be like. We're gonna die, like, you know. I'm gonna die, you know. What I'm saying?
That took a turn.
I know it's dark, but like it's like crazy how fast they grow, like, you know. And he's just like, I don't want to miss like the baby phase of him, like, because I know
the baby phase.
Yeah, you know.
Pop the man.
Yeah. But no, I don't want to miss it, because, like, you know, I feel like I missed those in my other nephews and nieces phases, and it was just like, I mean, I feel bad that like it is what it is, but like, I mean, I'm just at a better point in my life where I understand and I can see, you know, make better efforts to like be around.
And like you know, you're at a better point where like you like, you know, have more
and they're just close, like, you know, my other
that,
they're like farther away and stuff, so I can drive to like see this nephew and stuff. But he's a baby, and I just kind of want to see him just roll around on the floor and just, you know, watch him. He's like, I see these pictures like she'll have with the puppies and everything, and you're like, it's crazy. But enough baby talk. Yeah, so we'll have some Florida stories for next week. Florida stories.
Florida. Let's hope none of us are, you know, in any Florida man situations.
Yeah, exactly. Florida man. I'll be the Florida man. But Florida man from Atlanta, you know, now, I don't know, baby. I don't know. But anyways, guys, I think that means it's time for us to. Without further ado, the end. Well, we love you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tell a friend. You know, follow us on Instagram.
Write a freaking review.
Write a review on us, and we will shout the. Well, how about this? If you listen to this and you write the dopest review, like, you're getting a super shout out next week. We'll check for it. Let us know if you did it, because that'd be really cool. And a quick shout out to C Money Compadre, because she gave us a dope ass live on air neon sign.
We're gonna figure out where we're gonna.
I gotta figure out where to put it.
Where
here,
we're gonna
but
put it.
That's gonna be new. But we love you guys. This has been Future Bachelor. Welcome to the hundreds, and we'll see you next week. All right. My name has been Sai.
Your name has been Sai?
It will be too. But my name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And I hate you. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. All right. Deuces.
Bye.
Future Bachelor Podcast.